Push Miles out, it doesn't matter, the double snap comes through. He gets it, pressing out towards Tyre. Ultra are looking to go through the back. Inside and Cammy are going to be there. But still, Ultra spawning out.
Gizmo needs to stay alive yet. Needs to stay alive. The fight will go his way. It's only Kleenex who can answer. A good hold so far from the Ravens. Vance appreciating that Zero might try and push that out and finds the kill inside of Broken. So another opportunity here for the Ultra to find a breakthrough. Nasty will be the first one they have to get rid of. Cammy and Co coming through the side door as well. Shots are in. Trades are there though for London once again. This has been a phenomenal hold over towards P3.
Yeah, they've really put the screws to Ultra. This is a massive turn for them. They have to get Church control. They've lost an awful lot of time, and we are coming close towards the end of this game. Phoenix hasn't found Zero. Keep an eye on number 5. Going all the way through the back, and he might be an issue. Ultra don't know where he is, but where are his teammates? They've got to spawn. They've got to spawn towards the back. Keep an eye. Ultra are going to have to react to this. Everybody from London's in a great position for it as well. Inside shuts down one, looking for the second, shuts him down as well. And Ultra, they may have got the spawn against them, but they are holding in Church.
Huge kills coming in from Insight on the outside. Isn't going to be able to find Nasty. London still spawning here, but Ultra very aware. Zero now sending the kills through. Gizmo with another, and it's Afro. London cleaning up.
Well, they managed to get it back into this one, but let's find out how Ultra are feeling with a listening.
Super cool, wunderbar, Jetpack abgegriffen. Jawohl, mega, Freunde, mega. Very well better. Skill. Yeah, for free NFT. I love NFT. I love Web 3.0. Internet der Dinge, Freunde. NFT, die Zukunft. Blockchain, Technologie. Decentraland.
Nice. Not the guy, yeah. Was I him, yeah? I think so. On plat absolute, nasty. Both one shot. Both one shot, absolute nasty.
Could be low, yeah. I got a fire. Got two. One. Three. Joey. The window.
Last guy.
1v1. Close ready. Nothing mid. Try to hold it. Nades, don't push up. Naded. Yeah. There's it. Well, the pressure is mounting for Ultra. They're back on the P5. You can hear the comms getting a little frantic as they desperately try to hold this down like last time. They are still behind, but they have done so much work. Vance again on a 4. He'll be looking to go all the way with this one. P1 currently in control of London.
These rotational kills are so big as well. It's momentarily only Zero and Gizmo who's left. That's Gizmo's second inside the hill. Insight will trade it. Zero is here. It looks like London do have the purchase on this site. Kleenex and Co trying to find a route through. London can of course win it in 15. The kills started coming through for them. London in prime position.
Well, the nades are coming from Ultra. They've completely cleaned them off. They can actually win it here. They have to hold every single second. And London find their way in. Gizmo already opening up that mid corridor. Inside pushing through. Nasty looking for him. Inside and Vance combined. Ultra trying to hold every kill.
23 seconds away. They're holding on, but those spawns being flipped. It's caught them off guard. Ravens have found a breakthrough here. 3 kills falling on through. Cammy needs to find something. So does everybody else from the side of Ultra. Kleenex is here, but he needs support.
They have to get in. Ultra are looking to open the door. As you can see, they're ticking down seconds by seconds. It's still possible for him to win this one, but Ultra are in. They are in. 2 second tick. Insight hiding for his life. He got it.
Rotation.
Here it comes then. London, Nasty diving through, finds Cammy, finds one more, not going to be it. Kleenex is alive. They are still here, Ultra, but the numbers of Ravens are putting Vance in. Vance
jawohl, Call of Duty fans.
Seconds. The Ravens have to move. Nasty trying to get through. They're throwing up the defenses. They are putting everything into this. Here they come. 1v1. London. Oh my God. The rebirth, the resurgence, the rejuvenation, and the return of the Royal Ravens. It's a clutch moment of 1 point in Tuscan to open up the major.
The Eagle has landed in New York. My goodness me!
Cool.
What on earth was that start? It looked like London had it on lock. And then the rotation came through. Ultra tried their hardest, but the deficit was too much. A 1-point game to kick off the major. Are you kidding?
Well, didn't really expect to blow my voice out.
Kidding me?
But let's have a little rewatch and see what went right and what went wrong.
So let's have a look. You can already see Ultra on the rotation because they know they need it. Those final few kills come through for them, which allows them to get there. But Nasty up through ramp, finds one.
I love it.
The break comes through, and then the trades start to flow. Initially, Ultra start to win it. They find the kills themselves. It's Vance with 2 huge kills from around himself. Afro finds a breakthrough, but Insight trades it. At this stage, Ultra in the driving seat. Where does this initial break come from? Well, not that. Must be Zero and Afro through Church. Yep, there it is. Nasty finds a kill with a grenade on the site. You've got Bance left. Bance and Insight find a kill each, but Gizmo with the 2 is what does it for the Ravens.
And they are pumped, and rightfully so, Ton. That was one of the most chaotic endings I have seen. Ultra could have lost it on P1. They got in a P2, and London just set. Full sprinting towards the hill. That doesn't always work, but in this case, they won the gunfights. They got it right. P5 was hit. Short round from Church was hit.
Ja, Freunde, ist das cool.
And the difference was basically
Super.
nothing.
I love
but
it.
A point matters.
I love it, friends.
26 non-traded kills for the side of Nasty there. A very good game out of him. A very good game out of these two teams. We said coming into it, this could be the major for the whole of the year. That could be the craziest one. Can every map be like that? I don't know.
I really hope not. My voice was gone for the last 30 seconds of that half point. I do apologize for sounding a bit breathless, but we're back on LAN, and it's time for 100%. And what a way, what a map to kick off this set of events. I'm sweating, I'm tired already, but Call of Duty is life.
Oh man, I mean, what a crazy way to start it. But let's go big picture here. This was a map that London would have went into and said to themselves it was a 6-game win streak for them. Ultra hadn't been doing too badly themselves, of course, as we had mentioned. But this was a map that a lot of people would have put over towards the side of the London Royal Ravens. Maybe not in such close of a nature. But I suppose, you know, that's one of those games. If you're Ultra, you push it right to the wire, you are a point off. But does that not hurt you maybe that little bit more sometimes? It can be one of those things you can sort of say, right, okay, that is literally a gunfight difference. That's all that's kind of lost us that game in that scenario, or do you really rest on that laurel a little bit?
I think move on for it. Moving on, let's take a little look at Desert Siege. Move on for it. There are some statistics moving on. Let's take a look at how Desert Siege is going to statistics that might illuminate how we think it is going to go.
That's pretty one-sided when it does come down to the statistics. Over the season 6 and 3, which has when it does come down to the statistics. Over the season 6 and 3, which has the only other full team in terms of the how amount of percentages they are getting them. The only other full team in terms of the how amount of percentages they are getting them. But when they do get them, when they are in a 4v3 situation, they're coming away when they are in a 4v3 situation. They're coming away to be looking for those first bloods as much as they possibly can do. From the London Royal Ravens to be looking for those first bloods as much as they possibly can do. But I think when we talk about this map, how many times have we seen Ultra do relatively decent on it through the sight of Insight? I'm curious about the sniper battle that's going to go down. Haven't seen too much of the form we've seen at the beginning of the season from Insight, but if you can bring that here to the major in New York, London are going to have a problem and those stats will be a little bit skewed.
Yeah, but tell you what, 1 hour from the series, going on a map you're statistically looking forward to, the London Royal Ravens have got to be feeling pretty good. We'll have to find out how this all plays out as the map is ready to go.
Well, here we go then. As mentioned, those stats very one-sided. The side of London Royal Ravens, especially with managing to get themselves that lead in that series. Having a look to it though, Insight, we mentioned that he's maybe fell, I don't want to say fell off, but maybe it hasn't necessarily looked as strong as a recent. Overall, a 1.37 KD. As we head into Desert Siege, he's going to be the catalyst for the side of Ultra if they want to get back and tie the series up.
Well, I'm going to find out exactly what they can do. It's always tense between these two teams, but already a first blood for Ultra.
It's Insight who found it as well.
Call of Duty Major League live event.
Not quite, but Gizmo was quite far pushed up here. Keep an eye on him as that was now start coming on through, and can he find anything with this pressure? Rest of Raven's not there to help him out necessarily.
Oh, inside. I don't know if he's seen him. I don't know if he's looked at him. He has. The nade coming through. They're going to cut him down. They called out the teamwork from Ultra paying off. And they now have it in a 3 versus 1. Can Zero find some magic straight away on this S&D?
It's a difficult situation. Wants to try and find the pick onto Insight as best as he can, and then go from there, but 33 seconds. Doesn't have the bomb. Not the best spot to be in. Seems like Insight might have this read. Turn around at the wrong time. Zero's got through. Oh, I heard that though.
They're going to make a bit of noise. Will have the bomb, looking for Insight, knows he's there. That's going to be a shoulder thrown, and Ultra will react.
Woo! Huh? They make them different in Copenhagen, I think.
Klick says they're not going down quite yet. Gives Zero no real room to maneuver, but Ultra get that first round done on the S&D.
Just good defensive hold over towards that B side. The first kill comes through from Insight is always going to make it a little bit more difficult for the Ravens to find their pushes there. We said he's going to be one of the big reasons if Ultra can find something here. The stats all do lie in the favor of London Royal Ravens, but if Insight can have one of those magical search and destroy games that he does have, they're going to mean very little.
Last time we were on LAN, the secret to success for Ultra was going to be their S&D. They'll be looking to repeat that feat right here in New York. Already a little bit of palace control coming through. Ultra will have it, but no pressure onto a site yet.
Pressure in here from the side of Toronto. This first split will be huge. As mentioned, when London find them, they're converting them 89% of the time. Another team wanting to make a misstep here. A minute to go. That works out better for the defensive side. Not starting to be fired though. Desert Siege has a walk in. Here comes the push now from Ultra. The grenades coordinated from London, and that's into the first split.
Afro has been so prolific at getting them here on Desert Siege. Opens it up, and Ultra looking to try and get a kill through. Keep an eye, Vance trying to sneak, but it's not really worth it. Ultra finds him eventually. Klick tries to take the fight, eventually almost goes down. And Ultra left a little bit high and dry with 28 seconds left to go.
And that's the problem you have when you take your time on these attacking rounds. Nothing really for Kami and Klick to do yet. It's going to be a difficult one. Kami can't find Afro. He just gets out with his life, and Klick is going to find one of his own, but they really need to start pushing the tempo. 13 seconds remaining. Klick will do well.
3 for Afro. Eventually going to go down this round as well. 8 seconds left. He's not going to be able to do anything in it, but London Royal Ravens get one back onto the board.
And that was very typical of an Ultra setup when it does come down to these attacking rounds.
Looking. Does Insight hold him off again? Insight hold him off again. Round and Vance gets caught. First blood for them. Looking for that second one. Insight being very careful. Now he knows. It means he cannot afford to peek out in any direction. It gives London a great opportunity to get onto this site.
And that will not be the only grenade heading over there, I'd imagine. Yet Insight already down to, what was it, 4, 6 HP, something along those lines. Gizmo will find another. But Klick, well, he did find the breakthrough. Gizmo was ready and waiting. The call out comes through. It's Insight left on his own. We'll find one that he needs to...
Aktion.
Next 4 and 2 helping Ultra out in those close quarter gunfights, but they're losing it at range at the moment.
Well, can Ultra get back into this game? Can they bring this back to a tie? Palace control again for them. They're not going to know where they are. And Klick gets that first blood. However, already it's Afro again on this map. Insight gets one more on a Gizmo. Down to a 2 versus 3.
Oh, good shots coming in from Afro. He needed that. Bomb now going down. Is Zero going to be there to answer the question? Yes, he is. Vance falls. 2v1.
Insight looking.
Freunde, was geht hier ab? We need a refresh.
Nightmare, it's not going to be easy for Ravens to do something with the inside here. It's going to have to be Afro to find something.
Oh,
there you go.
It's Afro again. And the London Royal Ravens go up 3-1 in the S&D.
Nicely done. It's a good comeback there, actually, because Ultra seem to be in control of these trades. Oh, that's... yeah.
Got too much junk in the trunk.
You hate to see it. Either way. Kill comes through. It would have been difficult for Insight either way, but one of those players that in those situations, you can never, ever count him out.
You certainly can't, and they're going to need him firing on full form to get back into it. London probably feeling very confident now going into this next round. They have the attack. They have Zero, who is hitting his snipes so far. Admittedly, only two of them really necessary. Almost gets caught. Ultra trying to play the counter to him. And they've taken a lot of map control away.
Multi-NFT.
Yeah, Ultra very far pushed up here.
Sponsored by...
Nasty. Oh, he can't find the gunfight, but Gizmo will find that trade. Another first blood over towards the side of Ultra, but they haven't been making them count.
The club.
Try and have a look which way London are presuming to go here, but I think it's just going to be a slow and steady one. Try and find some sort of pick. Vance is in the position already and waiting for this one. Can he push it?
Destroys Cammy. Afro has gone down now. Bance has made a play for it. Insight's in trouble. He needs reinforcements. You can see Bance sprinting over there to try to shut it down. But with 27 seconds left to go, London have to make a move.
Not much utility on the side of Bance to help him out here either. Will he be expecting Gizmo so far pushed up as well as the bomb does go down? Insight on his way over, but this is a precarious position now for the side of Ultra. It's a big round, 2v2. It's
going to be a really difficult retake as well. You can see London stacking this ready. He's going to find it for Zero, and that's the issue. The setup was ready for it. Insight, this is another attempt at a clutch for him. Statistically, one of the best players at it. Going to see his head. Finds the first. 19 seconds. Zero's going to play time, surely.
Gotta go.
He's looking for him. He sees him. He found him. He's found him. Oh, the 1 versus 2. Zero gave him the eyebrows, and Insight took them off.
This man never fails, really, does he? I mean, he's quite often left on his own. Because he is that slower player for the side of Ultra, he's always playing a little bit on an island, taking his time. But when he's put in these positions, it doesn't matter, 1v2, 3, he's very much at an advantage. It always feels, doesn't it? Well played from Insight. The first pick comes through, and Zero just shows him a little bit too much. That was an important round for Ultra. Stop the bleeding. 3-2 down is a lot different than 4-1. So let's see, can London bounce back after that one? Afro at 7-3. It's the SMGs who have been performing on both sides. On the side of Royal Ravens, it's just about the advantage their way.
Well, already looking for the wall bank. It will be Ultra. All about getting control once again. Afro has pretty much been their kryptonite every time they've tried to make a move. Can he do it one more time on this map? We know how prolific he is, and Kleenex is in a lot of trouble. 27 health, but still alive. And there's Afro again.
These first bloods inside the Palace is really what both these two teams have been fighting over time and time again. Two of the best performers in the league, Afro and Kleenex, really going at it. At this moment in time, though, it's Afro with the advantage. London Royal Ravens with the advantage.
Cammy finds him. It's a 2 versus 2. Ultra trying to hold this off, but Afro's already going to find one. Insight going to be left alive. They found him in the back. And it was 2 bodies too many. London Royal Ravens wrapped that round up.
And Ravens just closing that gap
on stage
all the time there. Tightening their grip on the bomb site, and as soon as that first 2 kills comes in from Ultra, they're already buttered up just a little bit. The Ravens can then put that pressure on. Because they had so much time as well, as soon as that bomb goes down, they find that next kill. It's a 4 versus 2. They have that full 45 seconds to wrap all the way around, and that's where you see these flanks come on through and finally secure that round on the side of the Royal Ravens. 4-2 now. 9-3 out of Afro. typically on a map that you would say is more AR oriented, more about your snipers. Your SMGs inside the Palace are going to do their job, and Afro is exceeding at this one at this moment in time.
Well, Bant's going to take an up position. No hit markers. They don't know he's here, but Klick's going to get caught. Nasty takes him down. It's a trade coming through, though, as Bant tries to find them, but Afro manages to outgun him. Bant cannot get the bullets on targets. And now it's Insight again, left alive, all alone, without a lot of chance. And the Ravens, they continue this march towards victory. 5-2 now in the S&D.
Sensational from Afro.
Live-Aus Decentraland.
You got to save your Bants. It's an awkward gunfight at the best of times, but that's a third kill in the round coming through from Afro. Very well played from the Ravens, matching aggression with aggression that time around. But how big of a star has Afro been on this stage? He's been phenomenal, S&D specifically. Of course, you would maybe say Bakaj is more of his playground, but he's making Desert Siege as best as he can. 4 streak for him, 11-3. Ultra need to find a way back in somehow.
Oh, he's looking for it, thread the needle. He's threaded it. Gizmo gets taken out. First blood to Ultra. However, Afro instantly brings it back. And Afro only shows him it for a second. Inside gets out.
It's Afro every time. Every single time. The problem here now for Ultra, though, that bomb's already committed over towards A. Makes it a little bit more difficult. Kami with the shots, though. Afro gets taken down. That's half the battle if you're Ultra. This bomb will now go down as well. The flank kill is going to be huge, though. Insight. Is he going to check the corner? Oh, peekaboo. Zero will find the kill. Now it's 2 versus 2. The bomb is down for Ultra.
Can they hold? This is for the map. If they can try and just keep it alive. But Ravens, it's going to be 0, 1 versus 2. If he makes it, they take the S&D, but Kami shuts down any hope of ending it right now.
Ultra just about holding on. That flank kill that comes in from London make things maybe just a little bit more dangerous, but good hold in the end. The first picks coming in. We haven't seen that enough. Well, we haven't seen it converted enough for the side of Ultra. We've seen plenty of first bloods, but they haven't been going their way for the most part. 5-3 now, still doable here for the side of Ultra. They got rid of Afro pretty early there, though. It's going to help you along your way when he's 12-4.
He has been the difference maker, but it's still a long way for Ultra. 3 more rounds for them without dropping 1. A first blood would be disastrous. Losing the numbers would be disastrous, and even bomb down at this point could be just a step too far.
And Ultra with a lot of pressure here, but Ravens inviting it on. These neutral setups for the side on the Royal Ravens may well work because it is neutral. Apart from the side of Afro, and well, that neutral that we had is gone. His Bant pushes up, finds 2. It's now a 2 versus 4, but look at the positioning from Afro. This may help things out here. The map is split in a weird kind of way.
It's all going to be on Afro.
Has to be.
He's looking for players. He's trying to figure this out.
Oh, wow.
Great position. Can he make the difference? He's going to find 1, holds his fire, eventually finds Kami. Ultra have to react to it. There's a snake in their midst.
30 seconds remaining here. Ravens have got so much to do, though. Bant's in that position towards field may well be the dagger, but if a second kill can come after us, way just at the wrong time, he turns round. Kleenex will find it. It's now an impossible situation for Zero.
Zero going to try and clutch this one up, but he finds Bants, and Bants takes him down. Slowly but surely, Ultra are making this S&D competitive. 4-5. Pressure's still on them.
Clawing their way back. They're clawing their way into this one. First blood starting to be converted just that little bit more now. Very nice push there from Bants as well. When things are a little bit neutral, they know that London didn't have that map control. They're aiming down the sides. He pushes up and catches them on the transition into Palace. 5-4 though, job's not done for Ultra. 1 round away from tying this up. Last time these 2 teams met on this map, it was a round 11. Insight missing a sniper. It doesn't happen very often. That would have helped them on their way to that round 11, but still, pressure coming in here from the side of Ultra and Palace. Klinex is in. Can he do anything with it?
That was something Ultra wanted to convert, just the tiniest of pixels away. So much pressure from London. You can see it on the minimap. Ultra have got to try and figure out this puzzle that has been laid out before them. Is anybody going to try it for it? He sees an elbow. But it's not the people's, it's just Nasty's.
Nasty's staying alive, he's got to be the pick! And there it is. Another first blood for the side of Ultra, and Royal Ravens are flapping just a little bit now.
Keep an eye, though. Keep an eye. It's Afro. Finds one. Brings it back to a 3 versus 3. The bomb will go down, though. Afro's been found down to a 2 versus 2. Bomb down now for Ultra. Phoenix on the flank.
You see him?
I think he did. I think he saw Gizmo as well. Gizmo finds one. Oh, he's not going to get it. He's not going to get it. And it's going to be true. Tries to turn and burn, but fails in the end. The London Royal Ravens take the S&D, and they go up 2-0.
Got a little bit shaky for a second, but the Ravens lock in what was another statistically very good map for them.
Geht hier ab? Was geht hier ab?
They would have known heading into this series, maps 1 and 2 do lean their way, and they will head into a small break with themselves 2-0 up now. Good spot to be in for the Ravens, and just honestly, resilience time and time again. It felt like Ultra had a few more first bloods there. We'll have to actually check this one over. Just maybe the 1 or so, I would say, in the end. Yeah, 6-4. So yeah, 2 more first bloods to the side of Ultra, but Ravens making theirs count a little bit more.
Yeah, they certainly did. Afro obviously just being a force to be reckoned with. 14-6 on that S&D. And Ultra could have potentially come back, but it just did not work out for them, even in the final 2 versus 2.
It's always hard in those kind of positions. Ultra kind of had the setup there, but honestly, Afro staying alive, finds that kill around the site. It creates the chaos a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's always in that situation, you're like, right, okay, we need to find Afro, we need to find Afro. You can't. The kills fall the side of London Royal Ravens. Two to 0 up now. But we're heading into control, so we might as well just go map number 4.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a silver. Ravens will be wanting to lock this one down and move on to top 6. And they can do it with just 1 more map in this series. And I'm hoping every single map will be like the ones we've just seen. But we'll see you after this break at the Call of Duty League, Major number 4.
Freunde, ja Freunde, absolut cool, absolut geile Sache. Das ist Decentraland, Freunde, das ist Decentraland. Live-Stream, international, Metaverse Generation, friends. Only here. Call of Duty, Major League, Brooklyn, New York. Lass mal ein bisschen laufen, Freunde. Ja, Freunde, da sind sie doch. Absolut geile Aktion. Cool. Okay, die wollen wir natürlich doch mal anlegen, nicht wahr? Ein paar neue Schuhe.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew and Zenny. Armor your eyes with Blocks gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty Major number 4. We are here in beautiful New York. We got the crowd ready. So Thursday, we've only just begun, but already pretty glorious.
It's pretty popping in here. Let's be honest. It's been crazy, and well, what has also been crazy has been the games. I mean, social media has been pretty crazy after that first one. It was a wild way to kick off the major. We hope you guys at home are enjoying it too. It was electric inside the venue for that 250 to 249 map number 1. But let's just relax a little bit now because London Royal Ravens are 2-0 up, but we're playing Control. They have looked horrible on Control. Let's be honest, they've just not looked good. Every other game they look fantastic. They've nearly went perfect throughout, of course, the LEG match towards the end of the stage. I want to say you can put in maybe a small asterisk with all the issues that were going on around it. They lose a couple of games there, yes, of course, but Control has been their bugbear all the way through the stage, yet to win one. So they need to turn around very very quickly.
They really do. Obviously not looking great for London, but possibly a way back in for Ultra. They'll be pretty devastated with how those first 2 maps went. The opportunity was there on the hard point. The S&D, something we've seen them be pretty good at. Unfortunately, London have just looked better in this stage. The return of Gizmo has really turned around the Ravens.
Yeah, we were surprised by that. We were surprised by that. We knew that Gizmo coming back, you know, things hadn't necessarily been going that necessarily.
Jetpacks sind drin.
To win their first Control in a while.
Call of Duty.
Put Ultra down 3-0. Ultra. Well, we were thinking maybe when they come to LAN, it would be a little bit different. Unfortunately, London look every bit as good as they did.
And that was a lot of people's questions, wasn't it? Yeah. It was a lot of people were asking that question of London because I want to say kind of has rang true throughout the season. You know, the first event that we had, not the Kickoff Classic, but of course in Texas as well, and stage number 1. They came in a decent enough performance, but we didn't see the levels from Gizmo that we'd seen online. We didn't see the levels from Afro that we had seen online. But that transition has been somewhat seamless so far in this series. Can they keep it going though? Do you think, though, when they're heading into it, and that's going to be the question for me, will they be heading into this with a sort of defeatist attitude and sort of saying, well, look, what Control's not great, we don't expect to win it? Or will they be heading into it like, let's see if we can turn it around? A 3-0 will be fantastic. Do they put it in the back of their minds already, heading into map number 4? I'm curious where the where the mindset is, I should say, heading into this one. But for these guys, they will know how poor that London have been on Control, and they will be looking to take this one quickly.
If there's one thing Ultra can do, it's regain. Oh yeah, been a perfect opportunity for them to do so. Go on to a weak map for Ravens. Now, we did have a chance to actually catch up with their coach, who's unfortunately not in the venue today. Loveman, hope you feel better.
Brooklyn, New York.
But he did say they haven't looked terrible in the scrims. London have been winning Controls in the scrims. It just has not translated to events or anything online in the qualifiers yet. So there is a glimmer of hope for the Ravens.
Yet. I wonder if we will get there with them, though. I mean, there's so many times that we're picking up on mistakes that they're making. Too passive on the defense. I mean, we're not playing Berlin at this point, but so many times where you're defending that B-side, you would expect the push-up to start to come through. They don't do that. They sit too passively and invite the pressure on. But then again, I spoke to Tom about that myself, and I was like, oh, okay, well, why are we doing this? And he was like, well, we don't do it in practice. So it's just about putting it into play when we do get to the major. Let's see if they can do so here. A 3-0 would be massive for them. I think it would give them so much confidence. If they can start winning Controls, Brycey, they become quite terrifying.
Yeah, they certainly do, and obviously going into it straight away into the top 6. One of the things we haven't spoke about too much, because Ultra are technically in that bubble that we have highlighted going towards champs, but they are on the upper side of it. So a lot of people haven't paid it a lot of mind, but if they get no points here at the major, it is still very possible that they don't make champs, and that's the horrifying thing.
And look at that losers bracket. How crazy does it look? I mean, you drop in and it's
of ourselves. There's still an awful lot of Call of Duty to go, and I know the first 2 maps have been pretty spectacular between these teams, but we'll have to find out, and this is the bubble we are talking about. You can see Ultra are not safe, and that's the pressure that's probably worrying them just a little bit. The Ravens win this game. They are more than safe. They are absolutely rocketing up the table, but for Ultra, they do not want to put their future, their opportunity into...
Mega cool. Live stream. Germany.
And moving forward to trying to win the tournament and potentially win champs.
It's a storyline we've been pushing, and rightfully so. So many times we've seen some of these teams, and I think, you know, your home crowd here will be behind the Subliners when we do get there later on. They're the ones that really have to make that miracle run. For any of you guys want to go through any of the permutations or anything, Chance put up a nice article. It's on Twitter there as well. I was talking about it there before. Such a talent, Mike, on right cast. He's got that, honestly.
Way too good looking as well.
It was really annoying, actually.
Yeah. So it's awful, the talented people we have to work with. They make us work much harder than we should be able to. But speaking of working hard, going into this control, we are waiting just for this map to get ready. I know you're probably sick of listening to us already, but as we go into it, just an unbelievable feel that they automatically rocket themselves. A 3-0 to kick off one of the favourites to win it. They came into this as the #1 seed. This is 1 versus 8. Ultra, if you aren't familiar with how it worked them getting here, the very last game they had to wait to see the result, and they aimed down to a 3-way tie, and they had the advantage in the 3-way tie to actually make themselves get into winner's bracket. It was kind of a crazy way to get through. They didn't have a good qualifier, and we were wondering, is it just the qualifiers? Is it just a little bit of a downturn since Major 3? So far, they haven't told me that's the case.
No, absolutely not. I think, you know, if you're looking at these 2 teams, though, and based on how Ultra played at their own home major as well, was it just the crowd buff? I wonder, because we haven't seen that form from them online whatsoever, and we haven't seen much of it here so far either. To be fair to them, let's be honest, map #1 comes down to 1 or 2 kills. That's literally it. Of course, there would have been mistakes or different moments here and there throughout of it, but if you really put it down, it comes down to a final couple of kills. So it could very, very easily be 1-1 here. Heading into control, they'd be feeling confident. It's a very, very different outlook on the series, that 1-point difference on Tuscan, because they'll be feeling super confident heading into this one. But yeah, I think, you know, the conversation about Ravens, and you talk about that control, you say how good they've looked in their other game modes. If they can find a control here, a lot of people will be starting to think about tipping them for the win.
So, to kind of flip this script for a second while we've got a second to talk.
Go on then.
For Ultra, it could have been a very different story. Like 1 point. London break through in unbelievable fashion on the half point. They would be up 1-0 in the series. The S&D was very, very close. There's opportunities for Ultra all over that map. Bearing in mind that Afro did have an incredible game on it. This could have been potentially a 2-0 Ultra. Going into this, we would have said it was over, right? Going into the control. But the issue being, of course, is that London have just looked like the better team. And I do apologize. I know you don't want to see us here at the moment. You want to see gameplay. Trust me, we do as well, and we'll get to it as soon as we can.
Yeah, I think, you know, realistically, it's these small margins we talk about time and time again. The tiniest of margins in map #1, of course, but small little moments here and there for Ultra in the Search and Destroy, yes, it does make the difference. Control, though, as mentioned so many times, Ultra will be looking to try and take this scalp as soon as they possibly can, as quickly and as efficiently as they possibly can, and just head into map #4. But I agree. I kind of go back to what the Des was saying. This map set really does suit the London Royal Ravens. I think everyone would have seen it and plausibly said a 3-1 victory is definitely on the card. So I'm very curious about London's control and see if they have fixed any of it. That has to be the thing.
It's funny, really, because everybody's kind of
sind. Okay. We will see. Ja, Freunde, Metaverse. Live Decentraland. Major League. Call of Duty Power. Ganzes Wochenende lang, Freunde. Das ganze Wochenende. Polygon. Live-Übertragung. Free Wearables. Free Skins. Klamotten. Freunde. We need some tone.
And got one of them. Now the funny thing is, clutches aren't really supposed to happen. No. It's one of the things, it's a statistical anomaly. You aren't supposed to be able to clutch. Trading should always come through. Inside does it more than most, and I feel like we sometimes give him unrealistic expectations. Like, oh, he's left the line in a 1 versus 3. He'll probably get it. Yeah, the truth is, it's unbelievably difficult.
It's very, very difficult to find yourself winning these situations time and time again. It's unbearable for the other teams, I would imagine, to be honest, when you see him there. Is it something that you start quickening your boots a little bit? I wonder, but this series is not done by any stretch of the imagination. Control, we're getting into it. Issues are fixed, the crowd is nice and noisy. It's only Thursday as well. My goodness, what a major we have on our hands. We've had a great series to kick things off here as well. But can Ultra find a route back into this game? It's going to be tough.
It certainly is. Well, the first step of a long road for Ultra does begin here on Control. And London are going to try and make it their final one. Let's see how it kicks off already inside, going towards A, and so are London.
It's the obvious push, obviously. Side of Raven, secure this one in, see where you can get going. Good conversion for the side of Ultra, and honestly, they're going to be looking on the back of Afro. If he can continue these performances, Tuscan is going to be a map that he will have a lot of success on. And a lot of success is what Ravens are having here over towards it. Kills coming their way. Kills then going the way of Ultra. Nasuko trying to lock this one down as quickly as they possibly can, give them as much time possible to hit over towards B.
You can see already they're trying to go for the nades of Ultra, rain down once again, and Cammy wins the gunfight. They have stopped the full tick onto A. Their objective for Ultra now is to try and get as many kills off this respawn as they can. Keep London pinned back as far as possible. Gizmo versus Kleenex, and Kleenex now on a 4 streak. He's forcing London into a position they do not want to be in.
Kleenex now on a 4 spree himself. He will fall. Catch up, Ben, you don't worry. We'll get there. Vance and Co now looking to try and lock this defense in as best as they can. London trying to find a way through 6 kills in the lead for the side of Ultra in a very good spot.
And now they're looking to try and hold this down as long as possible. Still bleeding the kills. The Ravens are losing the bodies. It's 18 to 10, 17 to 10, but it only takes 1 break ton.
That's all it does take on Control, doesn't it? It's very much not over till the fat lady is singing. Zero and Co now, just making sure they can try and find something, but inside Vance, Kleenex all combining. And that's another push, just completely deferred from the side of Ultra. London Royal Ravens can't find a breakthrough.
They're still looking, they're still trying to get this one. And Ultra, they just need to continue to trade all over the map. 5 lives for London. 4 lives for London. Absolutely flawless from here on out to have the opportunity to take this first round.
They haven't really looked likely. Not even remotely. Push going to start coming on through. Afro will find 2 though inside the maps, but still 3 lives remaining for the side of London. A little bit scary now, possibly.
Kami's been found, but he gets a kill. And now it's a 2 versus 8, a 1 versus 7, and almost makes the kill. Afro not able to do anything there in the end. And Toronto Ultra take that first round in control.
Solid from them. Really good. Just forcing themselves up the map. London can't get themselves anywhere near it. And Ultra lock it in nice and easy.
Well, first blood to the Ultra, but it is a defense on Tuscan. So it doesn't really mean the most.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. But at the same time, London Royal Ravens didn't get any takes over towards me. They didn't even look likely. So for Ultra, it's confidence for them. Can they find anything in themselves on this attack inside Kleenex? Combining well, those kills will fall on through over towards A. Same story as what London tried to do. Get a hold of A nice and early, and plenty of time to push over towards B.
Well, they're still looking, still cooking. Kami finds one towards Midchurch. And it's all going to be Ultra at the moment. 5 kills to nothing. They're going to be making a move for it. Gizmo finds one back to it as well. Zero gets the second. They are going to shut down B before Ultra have an opportunity. Nasty getting another one. Ultra do not have A yet. They haven't been able to answer this push by London. Klinex eventually finds 2. A will go the side of Ultra. God. Finds the third. He dances through the middle. And it's Ultra with the pressure.
Can London hold on here? They don't have the bodies whatsoever. Kleenex staying alive there is going to be massive as well. Ultra will start tightening that grip.
Well, let's see. London have a lot of work to do as Ultra come hounding them all the way through. Let's find out how they are feeling, though, with London Royal Ravens. Listen in.
No comms, nice. That's a 3. Missing Ben. Missing Ben, okay?
We're going to close. We twice. Close left. Push you. Nice. Nice. We can.
Chatting out, Jesse.
Ramp's open. Ramp's open, boys.
Push low. There's one side one shot, bro. There's side one shot. You went to fire. To your right.
Trying to hold us right. And
give a quick one, because you...
No.
Do you have right?
Goes right. No.
I'll get right.
Church.
He's back over. He's not monks. He's stunned.
Joe, if you want, I can help him.
I'm wrapping over.
He's bottom church, Joe, bottom church. One shot, bottom church. He went, he's still bottom, in the door.
Outside.
Still bottom in the door, bro. On your left, Joey. Nice, bro. Get out.
I'm
going mid-alley. Get right.
I need to get right, yeah.
I've got mid-alley. Top fire's open, though.
How far?
Stone, dead.
Fire, dead.
There's one left. Maybe one left. I'm wrapping over. Get mid-alley. I'm helping you. Give me a sec.
Ben is when Bab's on. There's 2. Ben and Jimmy.
Mid-alley, can be one shot.
Alright, listen, take out those. Let's go left.
There's one shot. There's side one shot. You went to fire. To your right.
Trying to hold us right.
Well, London Royal Ravens just making sure they deflect all the pushes from Ultra. You can hear it. Figuring out with the small talk exactly how to deflect it. Ultra, though, have lost a lot of lives. They will now be trying to get over this life advantage and get it to the point.
And if I'm Ultra, you need to be careful of Gizmo here. 5 spree for him. So that might be something that they can potentially use in an attack if you can't get a hold of this glide bomb. Insight with the shots into 0, though. Is there maybe one final opportunity for the side of Toronto Ultra with 30 seconds left to go?
They're looking for it. Ultra are going to be in. Do they have the players they need to get it as well? They get 2, but not the third. It comes back to it. And that's bad for Ultra because they need every single kill, and somehow they find it. They're going to stop the clock. It's a 6 versus 6. Onto the point, it's stopped. That's more players going down. The Ravens may have found a route through. Afro trying to hold down Charge! Afro! Unbelievable stop there in the end.
Oh my God!
It's a 3 versus 4. London are going flawless. Just when they needed it. Ultra, they teased us. They showed us maybe they can make it. Inside, bring it back to a 2 versus 2. It's not over. It's not over at all.
Huge by Kleenex as well. It's a 1 versus 2.
Zero has to get there. He has to find these kills. He's looking for them. He has to get onto the point. 6.5 seconds and a dream! And Ultra walk away. They take it. They're 2-0 up in the control. And the Ravens, this could be a continuation of their lack of form so far in control.
And we've seen the collapse starting to happen. You know, Ultra find that break on through. It looks a little bit dangerous for Ravens, but they find the kills coming back, but it comes down to Ultra clutching up. 2-0 up now in this control onto the defensive side. We may well be heading into map number 4 a lot sooner than maybe advertised. Ravens now trying to find something over towards A. Ultra getting aggressive. It feels like that swagger might just be back in the Toronto side.
Well, they found a couple of kills to begin with. Obviously, London just trying to capitalize on 8. Can we get another one? Can London regain? As klick gets one. Nasty stays alive though. Stops the clock, keeps the progress coming. They will need every single second to try and crack that nut that is B on this map.
Fine purchase over towards A though. 2 ticks are already locked in. Insight 6 free. Let's keep an eye on this. If he can secure a 7, as he often does, then it may well be Ultra on their way, as that 7th is, of course, locked in. Glide bomb in hand now for the side of Insight. Kills coming in, and I tell you what, London Royal Ravens may struggle here. I mean, forced back. Look at the life difference as well. Gunfight from Afro. Ridiculous from him.
Oh, Ultra.
I think we've got you in the venue now. We got you now. We're good. We're good. We're good.
We're back on time. It's all good.
Amazing.
Afro though, making his way through. Look at the second kill. He gets it. It's a huge 2-piece from Afro. And London are going to try and get something going. They've already got the shot coming through. Afro again. 6 streak for him. Inside's going to go down. They may call in the glide here. Straight away, they need the breathing room. They're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. London are in. Afro's calling it in.
Has to call it in because the pressure's going to start coming from the side of Ultra. You need this round. The glide bomb finds nothing. klick has found the kills in the point, and it's all falling apart for Ravens. But a hellishly good push. 2 ticks are in. It's very much not done yet.
And klick managed to get through the gaps and shut down London. Afro was still in the glide, and they found nothing with it. It could have been all over for this round, but it still breathes. They will need Afro to do it again to find their way into this B point.
Have to take their time here. There's still a minute and 15 seconds. You need one semi-decent push. Ultra are not allowing them any room right now. Good gunfight win from Bance as well, but remember, Inside still has that ace in the hole, still has a hold of that glide bomb. He'll call it in if and when needed. 2 kills from Nasty though, here we go.
I love this from Gizmo, stopping the point. It's forcing Ultra to adapt. Unfortunately, the kills are not coming through for them. Afro again! He's trying to do it, but klick gets his own 3. The problem now for London is while they have a little bit of time, they do not have the lives, they do not have the position, and they've got to get through Inside. Inside is 22 and 10. 4 lives for London. And each one of them must be spent in the most efficient way possible.
It has to be pretty much perfect. 3 lives remaining, 2 lives remaining. London Royal Ravens. They had a sniff at this, but Ultra will shut it down. We said the controllers being an issue. Unless a minor miracle can come through here from the side of Zero. It's not going to happen. That is dominant in the control as we expected. The wars continue for London. Ultra back into the series.
Ultra, it's kind of a gimme map, and you know what, London don't even seem that upset. It's kind of like, yeah, we've done that a lot this split. Just not been able to find really anything going on the control. Even with Afro doing everything he could to break it open, they just couldn't hold on for him. Like, he went into the glide, he caught everything out. London did not find the kills they needed.
Yeah, and it's that sort of situation. How many times have we seen it when it is a must-win round? The teams have this small advantage of that glide bomb. It gets called in, but that's then a body that you do not have firing. And somebody like Afro not shooting his gun at people is sometimes not something you want if you're the side of London Royal Ravens, but you got to call that in. And the fact that he finds nothing with it is always a little bit disappointing. But that was the moment for maybe Ravens could have got back into it, because then they're onto the defensive round themselves, which is, you know, a little bit more plausible than an attack. But there were at least moments there for Ravens. You know, the clutch round that Ultra came up with, Ravens would have said should have been 1-1. This moment right here, of course, it was a 4v4. Ultra come through far too easily. And it's just curious, though. There was at least, I want to say, flutters of hope for the side of Ravens. A 3-0 scoreline is still not great, but there was still moments here and there that they could have possibly done something.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me now that we've seen it again is that moving on in this tournament, regardless of what happens in this series, it is going to be a potential map for every other team London have to play, that they might go, all right, no matter what happens, if we get one of the first hard points or S&Ds, it is a good statistic possibility that they will go up in this series, and that is not where you want to be for London. Having a weakness, don't get me wrong, if it's control, it's probably the best weakness you can have. We know how it went when it was like Ultra and their hard point, they could never get a game down, and we know FaZe's issues on S&D way in the past. Control's the one game we're like, okay, it's just once, it is mid-series, it can be potentially annoying to have that weakness.
It's that swing though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that moment where you're 2-0 up, you're cruising in the series, you lose a map convincingly like that. It is a potential momentum swinger, especially in such a huge game like this. It might just be the first game of the week, but it's winner's bracket. It's important. You want to make sure you stay up here as long as possible. You're going up against a rival, if you like. You know, all these boys know each other really, really well. It could be that momentum swing that Ultra needed to get them back into this series. But again, the whole map set, we're leaning towards London and everything apart from the control, obviously.
Yeah, you are right. Essentially coming into this, London are the #1 seed. Everybody should be realistically picking them coming forward. The question we had is whether or not Ultra will be better on LAN. And I feel like it's disingenuous for me to sit here and say that they don't, because the first map was hardpoint, it was 1 point.
It's close.
The S&D, obviously, Afro again putting up huge numbers for the Ravens. This game does rest a little bit on a knife edge. Neither team has looked completely dominant, apart from on the control, obviously. But fortunately, we don't play control again. We're going into a hardpoint, so...
Yeah. If you're the Ravens, you're happy with that. And it's a hard point that they beat Ultra on the last 2 times, at the last time that they actually went up against each other at the beginning of the stage. As we mentioned, it was the first game back for Gizmo, and it was a surprising win, wasn't it? That Search and Destroy last time around was a lot closer as well in Desert Siege. That goes to around 11, where Gizmo finds an ace to get Royal Ravens in the driving seat. Similar story, though. It's looking like a 3-1 for Ravens if they can close out this hard point. And it's one, as a lot of us have kind of been predicting, we would have thought they're going to take the win.
Well, I'll tell you something, we're trying to figure out how these two teams are feeling here on the main stage. Got a wonderful New York crowd who are making some noise for us in the venue all the way through this, and you can see the coaches on stage as well. They're figuring out, they're making sure to remind their players of the fundamentals and what they need to get this win on the next map.
They'll be known though. I said, like, where is the mindset for the side of Ravens coming into this? They know that their control has been put. They head into it and they just sort of say, well, okay, yeah, we lost it, so what? Is that their mentality? Or are they still really trying with it? Are they then going to be like, oh, we're downbeat about our control? Hopefully their mentality is in a good place yet, because not like, look, let's be honest, a lot of people questioned it after what happened last week. They were in a good spot against LAG. Delays, obviously nobody's fault in particular. It doesn't help them at all, and they seem to crumble very, very quickly. This Subliners, this New York crowd has been fantastic. Can they be fantastic a couple more times, though, this week? I'd imagine it'll continue at Pricey.
It will do. Here are our top performers going into this next one, hardpoint-wise. Insight, a 1.02. He has really stepped up his respawn. It's been very good for Ultra when they need it. Gizmo, 1.08. Obviously, the return of the prodigal son for the Ravens. It's what they were waiting on, and it has made a difference. But speaking of difference, it's time for Berlin Hardpoint. This could be the last map, or it could be the catalyst for a reverse sweep. Only time will tell.
Both these teams in very good form heading into this map. London, 4 of the last 5 have went their way. Ultra, 7 of the last 8. So the confidence will be there for both teams, but Ultra need it more.
Well, you see already, it's going to be Ultra on the preferred side. They're into P1 first. They're looking to lock it down. That's going to be on stairs. Afro towards the back has caused some problems. Still getting the time here at the moment, Ultra, but they know London is close. Kenny wins the first gunfight. Looks for nasty breakthrough. Trades going all over P1. Gizmo comes to reinforce.
Ultra with the good spawn side coming on through, especially towards P1. And statistically, it's definitely more beneficial for some of these teams as they continue to hold just about. Nasty as they trade things out. But when it does come down to Berlin Hardpoint, starting on this blue side that Ultra are on, 63% of the time, that team is coming away with the win. And that's down to the fact that they always do tend to have a lead heading over towards P2, but London, best P2 team on the game.
And this is going to be one of the reasons why. Zero just trying to hold down that street, not let any players from Ultra put the pressure on the P2 yet. London aren't going to be in quite at the moment. They are waiting for positioning. They are trying to make sure they have a clean setup and they can win these trades in the point. Zero eventually comes through. Clean X going to be looking for him. Picks the wrong corner. Zero's still alive, flying. And Cammy eventually takes him down.
Good break coming in from Ultra. London Royal Ravens are the team you talk about when it does come down to breaks. Ultra find a nice way through. Have the side of spawns they want to keep a hold of. You'll not see Kami move too much further forward, and imagine he wants to try and lock that down as best as he can. But inside the point, it's in sight. He's the only one who can find a kill, though, as Ravens come flying back into this one. Still a bit of a trade fest back and forth, but look at the top of your screen. London Royal Ravens are yet to break 10 points.
He's going to go through. Bance wants to try and find one more. He's going to find 2 players on the hill. He will not win that gunfight. Now, the most important thing is to keep an eye on that minimap. Afro already into fire. He's trying to open this up for his team and get the pin through.
45% of their time, London Royal Ravens are breaking hills, and it's down to this man. 1, 2. Oh my God, Afro! Towards the back, can't find the third, but that might open up the door now for the side of Royal Ravens. Gizmo up this side, spawns in for London. Toronto just crumbling away here. Royal Ravens have found a route through.
Afro has made a difference. He's 10 and 5. They've broken in. They've completely and totally taken Ultra out of this one as he continues to get that motor running. Afro will not let them have any chance. And eventually they manage to break through somehow, some way. Ultra find their way in.
Straight through fire. It's just gunfights are won very, very easily by the side of Ultra. They find the breakthrough. The Royal Ravens now have to do it all again. The hard work was done. You've got to lock in the time. They're not going to be able to. A small caveat for the side of London, though. Ultra were pretty much dug in initially. Damage limitation maybe is what you can take away from it there, but they would have wanted probably a little bit more than that with the break that came in.
Yep, and London are going to have to try and figure it out now. They're going over to train. This can be a bit of a spotty hill to get a lot of time on, but they do have the setup in and the map control. Look how far up they are going to be pushed. They will be unwilling to cede any points over to Ultra here.
It's one of those hills that teams have started to adapt to just a little bit better as the game has gone on. It has become one of those that's a little bit easier to find the time. Nasty, though, gets caught with his pants down, and all of a sudden, Ultra finding a way through. These kills are starting to come on through. What side am I watching here? Because usually, it's said, it's those breaks in for London. That is a flawless one for the side of Ultra. They do have Nasty left towards the back here. He may be something that can help Ravens get back through. And back and forth we go.
Nasty in an unbelievable position has helped London retain some semblance towards this hard point as he bounces along the trains, eventually gets found. London looking to push out. It's going to be 0 out towards back train, and he stays alive. They are just causing issues for Ultra, who just want to lock this one up and throw away the key.
Good time for the side of Royal Ravens, but keep an eye on that scoreboard. Slowly but surely, Ultra have built themselves a very steady lead here. Then over towards P5, they wanted to get those fights coming in through, but it's not going to work out. It's all about this rotation around towards P1, though. How often do we talk about it? Fire control on this hill is paramount if you want to win Berlin. Bansico trying to lock it in as best as they can here. Gunfights inside the middle will be influential, but still looks like Ultra will have the spawns that they want to keep a hold of here in 45 seconds. I say that, never mind, an overextension.
Well, they're trying to get a little bit of points on the P5 then, and make London come to them. If you can't get all the way round for this spawn, you soak as much as possible and try to get some points. And Cami and Insight winning some gunfights. Felix is going to be seen and will go down, but Bance wins another one. The points slowly but surely ticking up for Toronto. But what they really want is this time on P1.
This could be huge from Cami, though. 20 seconds remaining. Kill on to Nasty as well. Push from Secret's going to come through, and he should be dealt with. But the rest of Ultra, has he opened the door for them? Not quite yet. Insight is there to try and walk through it. Afro will be the first one here, though, for the side of Royal Ravens as we do convert over towards that second rotation now. London are inside the point, but Ultra are very much here.
They're looking to break in, though, but it will be London with the bodies. See Insight is waiting to try and make that kill, but Gizmo gets a huge 2 towards the back. And Ultra will have to reset and figure out this push. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, I was going to say, around the back it would have been Bance. But it's not going to be London in a dominant position.
Yeah, it has to be front door. Ultra got a lot of their points on that first rotation over towards this hill. I think it was around 40 or 50 or so. They were in a really nice spot. Ravens trying to answer back with a good hold of their own. It's been good so far. 20 seconds over towards them. That gap has closed quite significantly. Ultra trying to find a breakthrough. The grenades will help Bance clean next. Here we go. Gizmo will then fall. It's clean from Ultra. Nicely done. It's only Afro who can answer, but Ultra find a break with 20 seconds to go. Rotation over towards P2 incoming.
Bance, a little bit going on a 4th streak, trying to stay alive.
It's a perfect rotation. It's been phenomenal from the side of Ultra. Look, they were there. Gunfights go over towards London, though.
Next, looking to just hold this down. He knows his teammates are going to be a bit of a distance away, so it's going to be a bit of a hide and seek for it, but winning 2 gunfights so far does give the opportunity to get back into it. Zero takes down Insight. Still trying to stay alive here, Kleenex. He knows more fights are coming towards him. As Nasty bounces through. Cami gets one back again. And Ultra do have a little bit of positioning so far.
They do. They got the lead as well. That control does go over towards Ultra eventually, but it was pretty much a trade fest that just is in the end Kami finding the gunfight around the outside. Ravens now positioning themselves over towards Docks. They're yet to sort of spring into life in this game, it feels, Brycey. It feels quite flat from the side of Ravens. Ever since that rotation over towards P3 that they broke so easily on the back of Afro, can't find it here over towards P2. London Royal Ravens will have that rotation if they want to take it nice and early. But it's going to be a decent lead here for the side of Ultra. It'll be around 70 or 80 by the time we do get over towards P3.
And Vance is going to try and do what Afro did, and somehow he slipped the net
through. My goodness.
I can't believe he keeps doing this. I think he might be found at some point, but no, he is sitting deep. London trying to figure out exactly what is going on. And the inside, can we get a couple of kills? Nasty going to go all the way to back and eventually find him. Wipe that sweat off your brow here for London. They find what could have been a very, very dangerous player as they look to lock this in.
Round the back though, here goes Kleenex. It's the SMGs that are breaking things open, but the ARs are there as well. Momentarily, Nasty is left all alone. Spawn out, Ultra break. It's happening time and time again. Royal Ravens cannot hold on to a hill here.
Well, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. They're trying to put the pressure on. Plat and Fire are going to be where this catalyst comes. Zero goes to the gunfight and towards the front. Bance is equal to it. Players from London are going to be in fire. They're trying to hold them off here, but it will be the better position for Ultra. You can already see Kleenex says, hey, 20 seconds to go, I'm on the rotate.
Yep, he's already away. London will find that breakthrough. They need that scrap time. Ultra now ticking into around 200 points. Kleenex is here. He will be all alone for momentary time, and Afro will relieve him of that pressure.
They're looking for each other inside.
Don't know who's got control here.
Just trying to find it, and of course, Afro wins the gunfight again. They needed this one. London got broke so easily. Last time we went to train, I'm looking not to repeat those past mistakes, and Afro is doing everything he can to hold on.
They need to start stepping up with these rotations, with these setups, because Ultra just finding their way through so many times and so easily. It's another break that comes through. Nasty lines them both up though. As Kami will then fall. Luna trying to fight from the back foot here, but Ultra keeping them off the point is absolutely phenomenal from them. They will happily take that one, and they've just been a step ahead, it's felt, throughout this whole game. Can they find a few more moments here and force this to a map number 5?
Well, Kami's going to find one, Pants finds another. No real points being scored at the moment. London going to still have that small control. Kami jumps on for a couple of seconds, but London will take that 10. And it comes down to P5 and P1. London are not out of this. It's a very close game for them.
They have closed the gap here over towards P4. Well, something we spoke of there before, they're the best P2 team on the game, they're the best P3 team on the game. We have not seen any evidence of that throughout this map. And the scoreline is showing it. Ultra have walked away with the time here, and heading in towards P5, they've got the spawns over towards Fire. They'll lock that in as best as they can. They're also 40 points away from sending us to a map number 5.
And this is where Ultra have to hold their composure and where London need to be great. They're looking for this.
Oh, these are good gunfights to win for the side of London. It's good time for them as well. Rotations starting to come in. A little bit of presence over towards P1. Things may get a bit scary.
London are coming back into this one. Gizmo, it's a huge kill for him. Locking down P1, finds the second. A 5 streak for Gizmo. And they may be seconds away from finding everything they want here, London.
And staying alive and ticket would have been huge, but he gets taken down by Nasty. London in. Gizmo is still going.
Looking for a 7th. Eventually, Kami will cut him down.
Yeah!
So much work. The benefit for London is the points they got to P5. If they can find a break now, it will put Ultra on the back foot.
Afro could do with winning this gunfight up against Insight, finds it as well. Is that going to be the break here now for the side of the Royal Ravens? Kleenex overextended. Can he be in a position to maybe flank here? Nasty Zero find the kills. Vance now needs to get inside and slow this one down. London in a really good spot to bring this one back to inside the point.
London have done it. They've broken P1. They're in. Insight finds 1 kill, but it's not enough. You can see Ultra are still miles away. Afro cuts down 1-0, throwing everything he can and gets 2. It's a 3 streak. And Ultra have a decision. Do we go or do we stay? And it looks like they're going to go. They're not going to win the gunfights for this one. London will take the lead.
Gizmo was the one that broke things open there for the side of London, who, as you said, will find themselves in the lead for pretty much the first time in this game at the most important moment. But let's take a breath now as Ultra have this set up. A couple of good kills coming on through. London need to do it all again. It may well be from train side as Nasty will find one over there, but the break needs to come Ultra are dug in deep, and they are 20 points away from the win.
Cammy finds one. Ultra are trying to get this and lock it down in every single way, and they get 3. They're back in the lead, 15 seconds left to go. And here, come London. One last roll of the dice. Insight finds one. Zero's trying to get the player inside the hill. They're filing in, they're getting it, but the purple wall is holding them back. But gives them Afro. Bance gets that trade coming through eventually in 2 more seconds, and Ultra are going to hide it as Afro cannot get it. We're going to a map number 5. We said before, Ultra and London does not disappoint. And the start of Major 4 turns into a map number 5.
Fantastic game out of these two. It felt like just a battle of the breaks, and so often we've talked about London being that team who can find the breaks, but their holds there were not good enough. A very respectable comeback towards the end. They found that break that we didn't see them find throughout the whole game over towards P1. But it is not enough. A 20-point game. Ultra will take it. We see a map number 5. And honestly, it never felt like London were going to come back and win that, though. Even when they were in it, it's always felt like Ultra were in control throughout that whole game.
And I got to highlight this at this point because we've spoken about it a lot, but it's worth reminding Afro has been lights out for London. He was lights out again in that hard point, but it was not enough. And you are right, I think the problem for London was they weren't holding in the position we expected them to. The breaks were coming in very easily for Ultra, a 20-point difference. We saw London have a great second half of it, but it doesn't matter, because I tell you what is happening now. It's a 2-2. That means it's a map number 5. That means we have an opportunity to see glory for either of these two teams on the main stage at the Major. London started off great. They won a hard point with 1 point. They got into the S&D, and Control let them down. And Ultra have jumped on that possibility. They see the light at the end of the tunnel, and a reverse sweep is possible, but we'll all find out after the break.
Are you ready to cook these guys?
You gotta chill, dude.
Yo, get a couple deep breaths in, boys.
Let's get it. Let's go.
Dude, I think I can definitely cast F1.
Invites are out. Oh my gosh.
We're in the game. Yeah, we're already in.
Well in.
You're delayed.
Right. Simp, sell, Aussies are easy. Simp, sell, Aussies are easy. Simp, sell, Aussies are busy. Simp, sell, Aussies are busy.
Aussie, sell, a busy, simp. A busy, Aussie, simp.
Zero nasty against my afro. Zero nasty against my afro.
Blue Thunder Tracer Pack. Did they have them back in World War II? They have that. I've seen that in World War II documentaries.
They also had Snoop Dogg.
It's freezing. My are about to cut something, man.
You just have like a esky in the back where we just dip our whole head in there. Huh? What's an esky? A cooler. Just put it full of ice and water and just like after each map, everyone just dip their head and just sit on the setup dripping.
I'm defrosting my hand right now. Only my right hand though.
I should have brought like an ice pack or something. Would have been hella clutch.
Reply if you're a cool person. If not, that's fair enough. You're still cool.
I was playing on university internet. That was the best.
You were in my dorm room. You were on the super five before fiber came out.
I was in my dorm room frying.
Last week was my dad's birthday when we played London, and all he wanted for his birthday was us to win. We lost. We lost.
That's very funny.
But no, it's okay. Because today is my mom's birthday.
Oh.
And she wants us to win, so we can redeem ourselves. So we can redeem ourselves.
I took pre-workout last night, and the gym was closed. Yep, so I sat there.
I'm asleep right now.
No, you're not.
I'm woke right now.
You twisted.
I can go to bed.
I'll stream them like that.
What?
Probably. Just keep moving forward.
No, don't run backwards, you. Not you, Eli. I'm talking to everyone as a team.
Game is starting.
We'll see about that, ref.
Why don't we just move the day to tomorrow, Smut? Who's down?
Why don't we just move it to next year? We'll come back next month.
Rocker not prepared, maybe not ready for it. Attach gets out of dodge. Does he know that somebody is hot on his heels? Your girl on my side, she my sidekick. First round draft, that's the right pick. 3, 2, 1, let's get it. And it's only Dashy left for the clutch. This will be a 1 versus 3 if he can make it. Bomb is now going down, surely. Can Dashy do it again? Gonna get that time. Down, that player is not out. It's a 1v1 in sight. He's gonna fire the tugs again! Now Dashy, over and over again, is clutching against Ultra. Gizmo Zero get it as well. They're back into it, and Afro gonna be on the flag. He's looking for the players, finds a 2-piece, and they're now coming off a spawn, and Afro's going for the chow, because of course he is. A Celium drops as well. He has got a lot to work with. As you said, Rocker not prepared, maybe not ready for it. Attach gets out of dodge. Does he know that somebody is hot on his heels? He's got an Australian Shepherd ready to take him down. Not for 1, but for 2. 3 out of Pred. Truly a predator.
Stanley's managed to make it through. He's on the bomb. He's going to get the blood. Gravity with the first blood. They seem to have some kind of divine purpose to drive this one home. It's a 2v2. Gravity wins the fight on the flank. All of it comes down to Attach.
At some point, you got to flood out and check this bomb, and maybe Gravity fans it to him, or maybe Gravity guns him down.
Absolute gunny, and now it's only going to be Celium left in a 1 versus 3. A technical 1 versus 4 if he can make it, but this is a disaster.
Yeah, if you're Seattle, someone just commit to us hopping the bomb. There's no way everyone should be looking for where Celium is on the map. And now he makes it a manageable play. 1v2, you know that one player is flanking. Gets a couple shots onto map, but accuracy is on a bomb. Huge 1-on-1. Now you have to get him a bomb. And Celium with the 1v4 for Atlanta FaZe.
It's time.
Who's ready to go?
Who's ready to go back?
To go back.
Who's ready to go to champs?
Who's ready?
Are you ready?
I'm in.
I'm most definitely in.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Where?
The best of the best of the best of the best.
You know.
We're locked in.
We are all in.
It's ring time, baby. No.
Nope.
No excuses. Excuses.
Between me and you.
You know we're winning, right?
We're winning. We're in the end game now.
Oh, you know
We're ready for another round.
This is our year.
Our year.
I'm here for it all.
For it all.
Time to take what's ours.
Coming for that ring.
Wait, where are we going?
Yo, didn't you hear? We're running it back to Cali.
Oh
my God!
I've never been. Do I need a hoodie?
Champs is going back to Cali.
Champs is back in LA, baby.
We're going back.
I'll be there.
How are you?
Are you gonna be there?
It's gonna be a good time.
See you there.
Vivid. Just open it.
No, he got out.
Scum see him? Does Scum see him? Scum.
Hit the quick scope. Onto Bance. So now with 40 seconds left, Bance is gonna push right across.
Oh my! What? What? What was that?
Biggest threat on the map, and he's trying to make amends for, I don't know, 4-map losing streak. That's kind of crazy.
That's kind of crazy. What the world star?
Does Scum see him? Scum. Oh, there we go. Point of view. We can't. You can see him eventually as well. He's going to go down. 1v1. Dashi versus Vivid. Vivid makes a move. Dashi's going to see him as well. Vivid.
Incredible.
He's going to get the timing at the same time, and that's too late.
Incredible.
Seattle Surge, you will take it. Prez now set up for the kills. He's got himself an AR. He's got himself two. Here comes a third, and oh my God, the thunder from down under guns him.
Towards the other side, where I say they're flooding in. London are trying to find a hole, but it's only going to be 0 and 2 piece and 3 from 0. Finds it eventually. Oh my God! And they have managed to crack through this all off the back of one man. That's 6 now for 0. Holding it down when they need him the most. Insight coming to the gunfight as well as 0 keeps going. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are live at Major number 4. And we did take a little bit of a break there to fix the audio because, I'll be honest, at home we love you, in the venue we love you. We want to make sure everything is right for this finale. It is currently 2-2 between these teams. We're going to a map 5 for London. It is staving off disaster for Ultra. The reverse sweep is on the cards.
Only issue with the audio is me and you. Problem really.
Yeah, sorry, man. I can't do anything.
Yeah, I can't do much about that now. But yeah, what a series this has been. Very much so. These Toronto and London games always deliver, and they are delivering here on LAN. My goodness me, we're here to a map number 5. I've been watching. I think I've watched the end of that map 1 about 15 times already. That was daft.
My throat still hasn't recovered.
No.
Just blew my voice out in the very first map of LAN. That's it.
That's it for the weekend.
I'm fired. But before we go back and talk about map number 1, we need to walk forward. The crowd is ready. Everyone at home is looking forward to it.
Is that Crimsix?
No, Ton. We're hyping up map 5. Okay, map number 5 is on the cards. Hello to everyone who can see us. Yes, we're way up here in this beautiful theater. And what a stage. Map 5. Let me get back on a point here.
Sorry.
I've introed map 5 about 12 times. Map 5 between these two. The winner will move on to top 6. That's 20 points in the bag. If they can get it, it doesn't matter that much for London, but it matters a whole lot more for Ultra. And of course, being top 6 in the major, that's obviously the big prize, continuing through the winner's bracket. But who wins out of this one? Ton, we were talking about Bakaj before this series. Let me know how you feel.
Honestly, I mean, we barely seen Ultra play it, barely. But then they played it up against Optic recently, and they were really good. They were really, really good. It felt like Optic every single moment had to clutch up, had to find a way to get it back into the game. They did so on multiple occasions, but Ultra were in the driving seat throughout it. London Royal Ravens, though, I mean, we've seen one of the best solo performances in a search and destroy across Vanguard from Afro on this map. They are going to need to shut him down. Kleenex is going to have a game here if they want to stop Ravens on this map. But there you go, there's the statistics. The defensive win percentage there for Toronto, but there's not much of a sample size to see from it. Before we seen them play it up against Optic, we hadn't seen them touch it since May.
And this could be the difference. Just how do you split hairs on this map? London could have ended it, but Control has let them down and opened the door for a reverse sweep. Ultra did not win that S&D, something they were famed for. But it doesn't matter. None of this matters. Statistics, feelings, facts. It's all out the window because one map has to go and the better team will take it.
Here we go then. Crowd, if you can keep this up all weekend, we're going to have a good time. 3 more days of this to go, and keep your voice as we head into a map number 5. The Cars S&D Things get a little bit crazy between Toronto Ultra and London Royal Ravens every single time. And let's just do it on the craziest map of all. Well, here we go. This may be a little bit of a slow start for these two teams. They feel each other out and figure out where to apply the pressure. But Nasty with the first blood. Takes down Kleenex. There'll be a double nade that's hit him already. River has not gone their way. And Ultra will have to figure out how to break this. But the man of the moment potentially could be Afro for Ravens. Let's see if he can lock this down. First blood coming in for the side of Ravens is important. And they are just offering absolutely nothing to Ultra here. Not even a sniff of a kill comes on through. Afro. He'll get cold lying on the floor like that. But here comes the push. Ultra just waiting, trying to figure out if they can get through here clean. And Afro just laying like a rock and still not seeing anything. Ultra basically stepping on his head. Oh, Bance is in. They haven't seen him. Did he see it? He didn't see it. 25 seconds left to go. One of these two teams is going to have to do something here. It is London with the advantage in numbers. Ultra have got to do something. You've got to do something. Gizmo's going to find him. Gizmo's going to find Bance, and he has. The kill come through. Cammy gets one, but it's still 2 versus 3. The problem is time. Ultra have no time. Insight finds a second. It's a 2 versus 2, but the bomb is miles away, and Afro eventually comes into play. Finds Insight. Thank you very much. There's the 2. And the time was the issue. Ultra lost the first blood and then burnt as much time as you can physically do. And the trades won't matter because the clock will win. London once again, first in that 4v3 percentage when it does come down to these teams. When they're finding first bloods, they are converting them 82% of the time. Absolutely huge to have that in your back pocket. If you're finding these first bloods, they are so solid. They didn't give Ultra an inch there. Can Ultra answer back themselves though? First bloods, they're last when it does come down to it, so that's not where you want to be. London though will be the ones trying to find this pick. Over towards A we go. Can they get anything done over here? Utility very important over towards the back, but the aggression not quite there yet.
They're waiting for this. They know a push is imminent. And then are stacking and looking. They are trying to get the position they need to be in. No first bloods yet. Gizmo checking out towards the back. Cammy could be the stopgap. They know where Cammy is. Some gunfights have already come through. And already found it, and it's just going to be on the tiniest little bit as Cammy runs into it, but somehow still alive! Kleenex gets the trade! How on earth does that happen? Bance gets another one, and London find themselves in a 2 versus 4 when they should have had first blood all locked up.
Gizmo should have found that kill. Inside, a little bit of a dangerous one, but Zero left on his own now. Will surely be challenged, will surely be killed. Oh, he just rests on the edge of a knife every single time. And Gizmo finds that kill. It's so different. Ultra lock it in. Gizmo cannot. And that is potentially a big moment further down the line. 1-1.
That's not how I expected that to go at all.
Not even remotely.
Well, Cammy took it. Gizmo had to offer. But 1-1. An opportunity for redemption there for the Ravens. Can they get this round back towards them? But it will be Ultra on the attack again. The last time around, the first blood went against them, and then they just played it very slow.
Utility out from the side of London, no information gained. Bit more of an aggressive setup here from both sides, actually. We're going to try and find anything. If you're Bance, just information he's playing for that.
Ruining the resale value of that house. One spray at a time.
Look at this. London are ready for the push that's going to come through there if that's what's going to happen. Ultra, very passive once more. They love to do this. Look for the picks. And neither team has found any bit of information on each other so far. Is Kleenex going to be the one to try and break